Sup, nerds? It's actually crazy to like imagine, like, I know I got super tanned, but like imagine, obviously you guys haven't seen me for so long, like what the difference. You guys are gonna be like, oh my gosh. I'm back, you guys. It's honestly kind of weird. Like, I definitely feel like I have fallen out of my groove of honestly everything. And honestly, November is gonna be a crazy, crazy freaking month for me. So I'm hopefully, well, we're gonna post, no doubt about it. It's just a matter of what we're posting. So obviously, I'll keep you guys updated. We got lots of videos to film. We have lots of videos to film and fun stuff to do. So I'm very excited about it actually, but obviously bear with me. If you can't tell, I am a little stuffy. I tried to take a Dayquil quickly. It's like I don't feel like, I feel fine, honestly. It's just like I'm a little stuffy, genuinely. So I don't know if it's just like, you know, the cruise vibe, the air, or it could have been multiple things. So it's fine, but bear with me. I'm sure you guys are chill. Today, as you guys saw by the title, we'll be doing my reading wrap up for the month of October. Oops. For the month of October. Honestly, some of these books, it felt like I read years ago. Like, it feels so long, but obviously it was in the same month. It was at least 4 weeks ago. So I don't know, it's crazy, but I'm super excited about a lot of these. First, if you guys like talking about books, if you guys like reading wrap-ups, if you guys like all the nerdy things, then definitely give this video a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Without further ado, let's just get started. I feel like now, like every time I like go on vacation, I always get a sunglasses tan because I literally just don't care anymore. I literally do not like being in the sun without my sunglasses, and so I just don't care anymore. So you can kind of see like the difference here. And like my eyes look super small, but it's fine. I also think I got a little sunburnt like right here. Just so annoying, but it's fine because literally I was so good about my sunscreen this time because I was like, I'm not getting burnt. And now it's just weird, but anyway, I have so much to update you on, but we will be doing a coffee chat soon, so it's fine. You guys can get all the updates there. So first we have a bunch of books that we did I read in my 24-hour readathon at the beginning of October. So first we have Garnet Flats by Devaney Perry. I gave this book 4.25 stars. I enjoyed this book. I thought it was fun. I thought it was sweet. I love this series honestly so much, and I love these characters. I love this world. I love this family. So it's like when I love all of those things, it's very like, if you could put anything in the book and I probably would still enjoy it, at least for the most part. And so it was just cute. It was interesting, had some fun like little twists. You're like, I really was. My jaw was on the floor with this one. So if you have not seen that video, I would check it out. If you have not started the series, I would check it out as well. Then I read Pucking Sweet by Emily Rath. This is the third book in the Jacksonville Ray series. Honestly, I was thinking about this book recently too, and I was just like, yeah, it really did disappoint me. And so I ended up giving this book 4 stars because, again, there's a lot I like about it, and I love this world. I love these characters. I do. And I have to say the 2 guide main characters I love so much. Like, I have no complaints. But I have to say this is kind of so this is actually Why I Choose Romance, but it's also accidental pregnancy. And so I think what a lot of people don't like about accidental pregnancy is like when it feels like the guy is forced to stay, or like, you know, whoever's forced to stay in the relationship because of the baby versus because the characters are in love. And I think part of me felt like that at the end of this one, and I was kind of like, now I see like what people don't like about it, because it's no longer cute. It feels like he's doing it out of obligation, and so it was just very weirdly written in my opinion, and I just didn't love it. But 4 stars, again, not bad. I still recommend the series, but I definitely like the first 2 better. I really don't know. I don't know. In my head, at the time, I liked it enough to give it 4 stars. Looking back on it, I would potentially change my rating to like 3.5. If that helps anybody. I'll even write it on my Goodreads. Because I'm the type, like, I love, accidental pregnancy. Like, I have, like, that's one of my favorite tropes. Single parent, like all the cute stuff. But I think with this one, because it was comboed with so many overwhelming things, that it was like that sort of got shoved to like this small portion, which there's a lot of things I liked at the ending too. I loved the ending of this book. It was so done so well, but it was like rushed almost. I wish like that was the book, the majority of the book expanded, and then cut out some of the beginning, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm just being nitpicky, but it's like in my brain when I think about it, I'm just like, oh, could have been so good. Anyway, then we read Play Along by Liz Tomford. This is book 4 of the Windy City series. One more book after this, and I'm gonna be so sad. And I'm gonna be so sad when it ends because I love this series so much. Slowly became a favorite series. Honestly, like weeded its way into my heart slowly because I gave the three out of the 4 books 5 stars. And I didn't mind the first book the way everyone else didn't like it. But this one is so good. Like, I cried real tears for these characters. I love these people. I think about them too sometimes. I'm like, Isaiah. Because he was just so cute and their relationship was so cute. And I love this story because it's unique. It's not one you're going to read all the time over and over again. It's not enemies to lovers. Don't worry. I know people love that, but it's not the same thing over and over and over again. Oh my gosh. Then I read Foxglove by Adeline Grace. I also gave this 5 stars. This is all in the same video, but I loved this book so much. Honestly, I love the series so much, so I'm excited to read the 3rd one. I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I'm like, they also don't have it in paperback, and so I'm like, I could wait till they come out in paperback, which may be a long time, but still, I'm like, just trying to slow down because I love this series so much. So this one is I don't even want to tell you very much about it, to be honest. Obviously, this is book 2, so you have to read book 1 before you know all the juicy tea. But we get the characters from book 1 that you know and you love. Then you get some other characters that you're like, also, you know, like you meet and you love it. The romance, eat it up every single time. It's just cute, and it's so young, but like it's not even so young. I shouldn't even say that because, but they are young, and so it's very like, I don't want to say wholesome, but it's very like sweet, and I just love it because it's also like dark a little bit. I don't know, it's like a weird combo that I'm obsessed with, and I'm sure someone can explain this better to you, but if you have not started this series, do it now. Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't know why it changed to this order, but then I read Heavy Crown by Sophie Lark. I ended up giving this book 3.25. This book really did. It just didn't hit for me. Although 3.25 is not a bad rating, I think again there's this part of me because it's part of the series that I love, this family that I love. There were moments that I loved about this book. I do really love Sebastian. Like there's so many things that I liked about or like originally loved about it. Going into the book, there just were pieces that like kind of let me down, and so there was expectations that were not met. Obviously that's on me, but still, I say read the series, and if you're like the completioner and you want to finish the series, then go for it. But definitely don't read the series for this book. You know what I mean? As suckish as it is, this is the final book in that series. Luckily, there is like the kids have a series, which we'll talk about. So it's like just depending on what you want, but there I read that one. Then I read The Devious Husband by Catherine Amara, another 5-star. She really hit it out of the park with this book. I loved it. I honestly want to reread it right now. It's the perfect book. So this one is incredible because there's so many great things about it. Obviously, it's the final book in the Windor series, which is sad, but it's also kind of the first book in like the Kingston series, which is really nice. It's like this bridge, which I love because now I'm so excited for that series, and it makes the goodbye a little less depressing because like you'll get cameos, because it's not ending. It's just like this, whatever. It's just a very, it's a good bittersweet goodbye, for sure. But she's the like final Windsor. But she's also the only girl, so you get to see the boys like in a different light because they're very protective of her. Like you just get so many good moments. I cried so much during this book as well. It was so sweet. It was so good. I loved it. 10 out of 10. If you have not read this series, do it. Then I can't believe I read this. Genuinely cannot believe I read this, but this did take up a lot of my reading month. Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. Look at this monstrosity here. Like, literally massive. I can't believe I did that, but I loved this book. I gave it 5 stars. A very, very incredible ending. You'd hope so because it's like 8 million pages long. But honestly, so good. I can't even say that much because obviously it's the last book in the series, but Throne of Glass has definitely become one of my favorite series of all time. If you have not read this series, I don't know what you're doing. I know that this book is scary, but I promise you, even if you just take it in increments, like, you will love it so much. It's honestly so good. The thing with these books is that Obviously, yes, they're huge, but you're not following the same people the entire time. There are different like side stories, different characters that you get to meet and you get to love, different things happening. So it's like, yes, it seems like scary, but it's not like it's like a 800-page like romance where it's the same two people. It's not like that. So it's like multiple stories in one. So obviously that makes it confusing, but it's very easy to follow. I listened to the audiobook and I love the audiobook girl. She's one of my favorites. And it just makes it more interesting. So I don't know if that helps convince anyone. Then I read Grimstone by Sophie Lark. This one, honestly, I wasn't going to read the second book, Monarch, because it's a little bit spookier, apparently, but honestly, now I really want to read the second book, just because, I don't know, it was just so entertaining. It was fun. It's not like anything I've read before, because it is a little bit like more spooky in a sense, and it's a little crazy. At the end goes crazy, but I kind of enjoyed it. But it's not like reading like a Frida McFadden or anything like that. It's not scary necessarily. It just has little things that like make you jump a little bit, but it's like enjoyable. It's in the enjoyable kind. It is romance. That's the first and foremost. And then everything else is kind of subplots and sub things. She does actually have a list of content warnings as well, if that is helpful for you to decide if you want to read this series or not. I enjoyed it. Obviously, it's not going to be for everyone. I understand that. I'm surprised I liked it as much as I did. I gave it 4 stars, but like, that was a positive 4 stars. You know what I mean? Because it had like, I don't know what I just did there. It kept going like back and forth, like where I was like, and then the ending I was like, oh, okay, I really enjoyed this. So I keep debating on that next book, but I don't know yet. Then I read Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I had really high expectations for this, but honestly I didn't love the first book the way everyone else did, so honestly I should have just guessed that I wouldn't love this as much as everyone else did. I ended up giving it 3.75 stars. Not a bad rating. I enjoyed this series. It's fun. It's very, like, obviously they always say like this is the ultimate found family, which is true, like they're all found family. I just think that there were some like weird decisions made between the characters or like for the characters, and there's just things I don't like, and I hate to say, I want to be a writer one day. I want to write my own book, and so obviously though we have to acknowledge that not everyone's gonna love your writing and your writing style, and I think I've just learned that I may not love Leigh Bardugo's writing style or her writing choices, because I read her first trilogy, the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and I also didn't love that. Both of these series have a lot of components that I normally like. I think just execution or put together is just not my favorite, although still good. Like, so if you want to read this, I say go for it. I'm sure you have a higher chance of liking it than I did, because most people do. I'm the anomaly, don't worry, but it just was like, it was good. There you go. Alright, so then I read 2 books on Kindle Unlimited. I read these back to back because I loved them, but I read a Jasmine Maz book last month and I freaking was obsessed. So as I'm patiently waiting for that series to continue, because now apparently it's not coming out until October 2025, and I'm like, are you joking? That's literally like 11 months away. What? So I read this series by her and I freaking ate it up. So I read Psycho Shifters. This is book 1. I gave that 4.5, and then book 2 was Psycho Fae. I gave that 4.25. So I like the first book better. But honestly, these are both they're just so good. Listen, don't expect this to be this very developed, they're quick, they're very Kindle Unlimited-esque books, but they're so entertaining, they're so fun. It is why I choose as well, but each of the characters are different, like, I don't want to say monsters, but like kind of monsters, which is just so interesting. The thing with this one, and why I knocked it points, again, more so in the second book, just because, she does a lot of, like, what is that word? Slang? Like, what is that word? I was gonna say common slang, but a lot of, current slang? I don't know. A lot of slang. And so, it was funny. First book, it was funny. It was not, like, it's not my thing. It's not my favorite thing in the whole wide world. Sometimes, like, you can get a pass. Like, sometimes it is hilarious when... Anyway, so I know a lot of people like that even less than I do. So first book, it was funny, slipped it in there. Obviously it's still like, again, one of those books. It's not gonna be my favorite book or anything, but it was very enjoyable. 4.5. Then the second book, it was like, okay, enough, please stop. And so I had to do 4.25, but again, that's not a bad rating at all. It's still very enjoyable. So I'm excited for the third one. I just haven't read it yet. I just don't want to like finish the series quite yet. It's just so much fun. Oh my gosh, grand old time. All right, then it actually finished. I was like almost not gonna finish this book. This is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I thought this book was so good though. It's 5. I gave it 5 stars. I gave all the Harry Potters 5 stars. These books are incredible. I love them so much. I just don't know why it took me so long to like make it through this one. I think it's because nothing like crazy happens in this one necessarily until like the ending, and so it's kind of just like slow. I don't want to say slow, it's just not as high stakes, and so you're not like, oh my gosh. Obviously, if you see the movies, they're pretty similar. This one is probably the most different so far, though, to a movie. It's just like random stuff that you're like, okay, that's fine. I guess, but I love these books so much. If you have not read Harry Potter's, now's your time. Love them, 5 stars. There's like not much to say because that's book 6. Like you got to get all the way to book 6 to know, like, to be on the same page. But it's just, and there's also nothing to say because I'm sure you know what Harry Potter's about. And yeah, this book I think is the shortest one out of like the last couple. Out of like 4, 5, and 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think this one is the shortest, which was nice. I did listen to it because I love listening to those. So, all right, it's actually funny. The last 2 I gave the exact same rating, but we have My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine. I gave this 4.25. I thought this book was so much fun. It's a very short, quick-paced book. I think it's less than, it's like 350 pages, but I'm like, obviously it's not going to be super developed, very perfect, like it's not going to be this huge thing, so I couldn't give it 5 stars, but like it was so much fun, so good. I definitely will be reading the second one eventually. I just thought it was a grand old time. It's very cute. There was a point where I was kind of like, okay, like let's wrap it up, or like you know, where I was just like, okay, like moving on. But a lot of it was just super fun. I don't know why I love books like this, and this reminds me of Unwanted by Mia Sheridan, where like, you know, what is the word? Figures of speech and like stuff like you have to explain to them because they don't understand, and I love it so much. So if you have any book recommendations where it's like, I don't know, speaking like a different language to them, I love it. Because there's another book, but I don't know, whatever. Just if you have any recommendations like that, let me know, because I will eat that up. But 4.25, thought that was so good. If you have not read it, 'tis the season. And then we finished off the month with Kingmakers by Sophie Lark. I didn't even realize it was this book because I read it on, this big, because I read it on Kindle Unlimited, but I enjoyed this book. I gave it also 4.25. I think my thing with this one, first of all, it's the first book in the series. It has to lay the groundwork, which is fine, which I do feel like it kind of did, and I am excited for the next couple books. This one though is sort of love triangle. Hold on. Like sort of, because but you it says it on the back here too. It's like Dean plans to destroy Leo and take everything he holds dear, starting with Anna. So it's like you kind of just gotta read it, but like it's not my favorite, and so there was a point where I was like skipping pages because I was like, okay, this is like, I don't want to read this, I don't like this. But then it ended quickly. Well, not the book, but like that's actually that's a lie. It didn't end quick enough, which is why I gave it 4.25 stars. If it ended quicker, I probably would have given this book like nearly 5 stars. But I just needed it to end a little bit quicker. But all that to say, it was very interesting. The school is very interesting. The premise is very interesting. Lots of things very interesting about this book. So excited for the rest of them, and really enjoyed this one. 4.25 stars. Oh gosh. Alright guys, so those were the 14 books I read in October. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be less, not gonna lie. I think the 2 Kindle Unlimited books snuck in there and I read them really fast, so that's how, like, because I was like, I thought I was gonna only read like 10 books, which everyone goes at their own pace, no worries, no judgment, and also I know that there was no pressure to read a certain amount of books each month, but it's just funny to me because I felt like I was reading slow motion, but again, no worries. I'm gonna take my time. Honestly, already for November. I'm already like halfway through 2 books. One obviously pull through rollover from October. Another one I started and I cannot put down. So I'm very excited. I feel like it could be a good month, but I'm also gonna be very busy. So I don't know how my November is gonna look. But anyway, guys, that is it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, nerds.